Hello viewers, welcome you all on my channel Biology with Amir Raza. Today I will solve a past paper of biology with code 5090 May-June 2090 variant 2. So let's start with question number 1. First question is, which two structures are found in all plant epidermal cells? When we talk about epidermal cells, so keep in your mind chloroplast and starch grains. Chloroplast is actually not present in these epidermal cells. So definitely in options where chloroplast is present will be incorrect. So in option A, cell wall and chloroplast, it's incorrect. Option B, cell wall and nucleus. It may be. When moved to option C, chloroplast and starch grains, again chloroplast is here. D, nucleus and starch grains. Starch grains are not present again. So the best option is option B, cell wall and nucleus. Now we move to question number 2. Which process only occurs by diffusion? Diffusion actually is a process in which atoms, ions or molecules moves from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration down the concentration gradient. So in these options, for option A, movement of sugars in the phloem, no. Over here active transport is involved. Option B, movement of water in the xylem. Obviously over here process of osmosis will be involved, but actually in xylem some forces are involved, like transpirational pull will be involved in the xylem, and in root hairs it will be osmosis. Option C, uptake of carbon dioxide by the blood. Yes, of course, gases are exchanged by the process of diffusion. D, uptake of glucose by the intestinal villi. Again, in human intestine, glucose is will be uptaken by the process of active transport. So the best option is C, uptake of carbon dioxide by the blood, that will involve the process of diffusion. Now we move to question number 3. In question number 3, the statement is, the diagram shows some cells in the root of a plant that is absorbing water from the soil. Actually 3 cells are given as they are labeled 1, 2 and 3. In sequence, first the water will be absorbed by cell 1, that is root hair cell. So directly from the soil water will be absorbed in cell 1. When it will reach to cell 1, the cell 1 will be having highest water potential as compared to cell 2 and 3. Next, water will move to cell 2 and next to cell 3. So what he is asking, how does the water potential of the cell mark 2, that is between cell 1 and 3, differ from the water potentials of the cells mark 1 and 3? As cell 1 is having highest water potential, then 2 and 3, from cell 1 water will move to cell 2 first and then to 3. So when talk about the correct answer, cell 2 will be having lower water potential than cell 1 and higher than cell 3. So let's find the correct option. A, higher than cell 1 and higher than cell 3, incorrect. Cell 2 cannot have higher water potential at the same time from both 1 and 3 cells. B, higher than cell 1 and lower than cell 3. Again, it is higher than cell 1, incorrect. C, lower than cell 1 and higher than cell 3 is the correct answer. Option C is the correct answer for question 3. Now we move to question number 4. Which graph shows the effect of temperature on the rate of reaction catalyzed by amylase? In human body, all the enzymes, amylase, lipase or proteases, they work at same temperature. Normal temperature of human body is 37 degrees Celsius and the optimum temperature will range between 37 to 40 degrees Celsius. When we move to options, in option A, enzymes are going to be denatured before 40 degrees Celsius, so it's incorrect. In option B, it seems correct because according to the definition, effect of temperature on the rate of reaction of enzymes, rise in every 10 degree will double the rate of reaction till their optimum temperature. So in graph B, between 37 to 40 is the optimum temperature and the rate of reaction is highest. After that, enzyme is going to be denatured, and at 60, around 60, the rate of reaction is 0. So it is the best answer according to the description of the question. So option B is the correct answer for question 4. Now we move to question number 5. What is the effect of a lack of nitrate ions on plant leaves? When we talk about the nitrate ions, actually nitrate ions are taken up by the root hairs and along with water they reach to the leaves. They are used during the process of photosynthesis by the plants in their leaves to synthesize amino acids and protein. Protein is used for the growth of plants. So this question will be related either to the growth of the plant or it will show the slow rate of growth in plants. So let's we find out the correct answer. Move to option A. All leaves turn very dark green. Dark green color of leaves is always related to the presence of magnesium ions in them. So it's incorrect. B. Leaves lose their yellow color. Leaves lose their yellow color, again it's incorrect because they are yellow when they are not having magnesium ions. The leaves wilt, they always wilt when they have insufficient water in them. Mean when the transpiration rate is higher and uptake of water is less. So in that condition they wilt. So again incorrect. Young leaves grow very slowly. Yes, it shows their growth. So this option D is linked with the question and D is the correct answer. Move to question 6. Which word equation describes photosynthesis? Okay. When we discuss the equation that is related to photosynthesis, we are very clear about the process of photosynthesis. In photosynthesis, plants use carbon dioxide and water as raw materials. And what will be the products of photosynthesis? Carbohydrate and oxygen. So let's find the correct equation. In A, carbohydrates, B, carbohydrates. Both are incorrect because carbohydrates cannot be used as raw materials. Move to option C, carbon dioxide and water, carbohydrate plus oxygen after arrow. Option C is the correct answer because carbon dioxide and water are raw materials for photosynthesis, and ultimately after photosynthesis the products will be carbohydrate and oxygen. D is incorrect because again oxygen is going to be used as raw material, which is incorrect. Now we move to question number 7. A student performed an experiment to see whether chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis. What is a suitable plant for this experiment? In this statement, the examiner is going to focus the chlorophyll, the necessity of chlorophyll in this experiment. Whenever we perform any experiment just to find out the necessity of chlorophyll, we must be having in our mind that we are going to use variegated leaves which are having two different colors. I mean, they will be having some patches of yellow or white colors along with green colors. So let's find the correct answer. A plant in a closed jar with no access to carbon dioxide. No, it's incorrect because we have to find out the plant with patched leaves. A plant that has white patches on its leaves. Yes, this option is having a relation with the question, but we discuss the other options, then we will come back to the right option. C. A plant with black paper pinned to both sides of one leaf. It may be, but again, if any uncovered part of the leaf will be there, that will do photosynthesis. A plant with wilted leaves. The best option in this case is B. A leaf which will be having white patches along with green. Now we move to question number 8. The diagram shows a section of the wall of the small intestine, into which structure are most of the lipid components of the diet absorbed for transport to the rest of the body. First, we discuss the labels that are given in the diagram. Label A shows the position of lacteal or lymph vessel in the villus. Label D, these are blood capillaries. B and C are microvilli. So in this case, in our small intestine, we are having three digested components, namely amino acids, glucose, and components of fat, meaning glycerol and fatty acids. The two components, glucose and amino acids, are absorbed in blood capillaries as they are smaller in their size. Their molecules are smaller. The molecules of lipid components, the glycerol and fatty acids, they are larger molecules. They cannot be absorbed through capillaries directly. So first, they will be a part of lacteal or lymph vessel. Then they will be a part of your blood through a vein. So option A is the correct answer for this question. Now we move to next question, question 9. A surgical procedure involves the removal of the gallbladder. Okay, first we see the position and function of gallbladder. Gallbladder is located inside our liver. What is the function of gallbladder? It stores bile, a juice. Bile is a juice that contains no enzyme, but even then we require it for the emulsification of fat in duodenum. So the main function of gallbladder is to store bile. Now we move to options. What are patients who have undergone this procedure not able to do? Mix food with gastric juice, produce bile. Mix food with gastric juice, no relation in this option. Produce bile. Bile is actually produced by the liver, not by the gallbladder. Store bile, yes. Gallbladder is a storehouse. It stores bile. Store urine, no. For urine, we have urinary bladder. So, which one will be the correct answer? C. Gallbladder store bile. Now we move to question number 10. The lengths of three parts of the human alimentary canal are shown. part are P, Q and R. Their lengths have been given. Part P will be having length 350 centimeter, Q 150 centimeter, R with 26 centimeter. Which row identifies these parts? Okay, when we talk about the length of alimentary canal, our ileum is the largest part with 350 centimeter length. Then the second one is colon with 150 centimeter length, and the duodenum will be having 26 centimeter. So we move to the options for our correct answer. In option, first we will discuss column P. That will help us to find the correct answer. In option A, column P, colon is given. Actually, colon is second largest, so it's incorrect. Option B starts with duodenum. No, again, duodenum is the smallest. Okay, move to C and D. In both C and D we are having ileum. In Q we must have colon, the second option, because duodenum is the last one. So in that case C will be the right answer, because ileum is the largest with 350 centimeter length, colon with 150 centimeter, and finally duodenum, that is R, with 26 centimeter length. So C is the correct option. Now we move to question number 11. Which statement best describes the movement of water through the stem of a plant? So you must be very clear about the movement of water. Actually, we are having two different regions for the movement of water. First is when water moves from soil into the root hairs. Over there the process that will be involved is osmosis. But when water is moving through the stem towards the leaves, over there different forces are involved, like transpiration pull, root pressure, cohesive and adhesive forces are there. So in this question the examiner is going to discuss the movement of water through stem. It means osmosis is not involved. So definitely it will be having a relation with evaporation or transpiration. So we move to the options for our correct answer. In option A, water moves up the stem as it evaporates from the leaves. So definitely evaporation is having a relation with water movement in stem. Anyhow, we'll move to other options. Water moves up the stem as it pushed by water entering the root. No, it's incorrect. Water moves up the stem because it is used in photosynthesis. Definitely it is used in photosynthesis, but there must be a force that is pulling upward this water to the leaves. In option D, water moves up the stem by osmosis. No, osmosis is always there in moving water from soil into the root hair cells. So option A is the correct answer, where we have evaporation of water from the leaves. Definitely in that case the transpiration pull is going to pull the water towards the leaf. Now we move to question number 12. A plant was placed in water containing black dye. After 24 hours the plant was removed and sections were taken from the root and the stem. Which diagram shows the result? Actually we have to prove two different relations in this question. First, the position of vascular tissues, and second, which tissue will be involved in the movement of water. Definitely xylem is involved in the movement of water, and xylem will get stained. Then we have to discuss the correct position. As far as the correct position in root and stem, the positions have been given correctly, but now we have to find out the correct stained areas. First we move to option A. In option A, in root, the central area is of xylem, so it is correctly stained. outer parts are of phloem which are unstained. Again in stem, its vascular bundle in which the inner area is stained black, that shows the presence of xylem tissues, and outer part shows the presence of phloem tissues. So I think this option A is the correct answer, because in other parts, in B, phloem is stained in both root and stem. In option C, root is in root, xylem is stained, but in stem the area of pith is stained. In D option, in root again the area of phloem is stained, and in stem vascular tissues are not stained, rather the other cells, the cortex cells are stained. So again incorrect, the correct option is A. Okay, now we move to question number 13. In a muscle, which two substances show net movement from the plasma into the tissue fluid? Okay, when blood is moving through the plasma, it contains glucose, oxygen, red blood cell, white blood cells, hormone, and other materials. But when it reaches to capillaries, over there due to high pressure, lot of materials ooze out into tissues, and they will form tissue fluid which will surround our tissues. When we talk about the composition of tissue fluid and plasma, definitely they will be different. When plasma is moving out from the capillaries, it may contain glucose, oxygen, hormones, white blood cells, but not proteins and red blood cells. So now we move towards the options to find our correct answer. In option A, carbon dioxide and glucose, definitely carbon dioxide will not be a part of it. When the blood is moving towards the tissues, it is bringing oxygen and glucose. Carbon dioxide and lactic acid, again it's incorrect, because muscle will produce lactic acid and they will give it to the blood to oxidize it. Again incorrect answer. So when we move to option C, glucose and oxygen, yes, it seems correct, but we move to D to find out the correct answer between C and D, because A and B are incorrect. In D, lactic acid again is given, that's incorrect. So option C is the correct answer, glucose and oxygen. Now we move to question number 14. Through which valve does the blood pass as it leaves the right ventricle, and which structure does it next reach? Okay, we are having 4 chambers in our heart, and there are 4 valves as well. There are 2 atrioventricular valves which are present between atrium and ventricles, and 2 semilunar valves which are present, one on left side in aorta, that is semilunar or aortic valve, and second is present on right side pulmonary artery. They are the semilunar valves. So obviously when ventricle contracts, we are talking about the right ventricle. When right ventricle contracts, the blood will be pushed towards the pulmonary artery. So the structure will be pulmonary artery, and the valve which will get open will definitely be semilunar. So the correct option is D. Valve will be semilunar and structure is pulmonary artery, because atrioventricular A and B were incorrect, and when we find correct answer between C and D, semilunar and aorta are incorrect, because right now we are talking about the right side of the heart, the right ventricle that contains deoxygenated blood. In that side, semilunar and pulmonary artery are the best relation. So D option is the correct answer. Now we move to question number 15, the last question of this lesson. Definitely We will discuss this paper in our next lesson, but 15th question is the last question of this lesson. Which statement about white blood cells is correct? When we talk about the white blood cells, they are of two different types, lymphocytes and phagocytes. Lymphocytes produce antibodies in phagocytes to phagocytosis. They ingest the pathogens and bacteria which get their entry in our body. So we move to options. Option A, they can ingest bacteria by a process called phagocytosis. Yes, it's correct, but we see the other options. B, they can produce antigens in response to foreign antibodies. No, actually when pathogens get their entry into our body, they produce antigens against which our white blood cells, the lymphocytes, will produce antibodies. So option B is incorrect. They convert fibrinogen to fibrin when bleeding happens. Whenever bleeding happens in our body, the conversion of fibrinogen into fibrin is actually related to platelets, not with white blood cells. Again incorrect. So they transport toxins from body tissues to the liver. Actually white blood cells have nothing to do with these toxins in their transport. So in that case option A is the best answer, because phagocytes will do the process of phagocytosis in which they will ingest the bacteria. So option A is the correct answer. So viewers, inshallah we will discuss the remaining questions in our next class. Till then, stay safe and blessed.